All right, guys. This is DJ Wolf Live. I got to talk about this. Yeah, you heard it right. You saw it right. Trump wants to rename both the Washington and the Cleveland Guardians back to their original names as the Washington Skins Indians. Now, if you don't already know, years old, first sports game I ever saw was 1969 in person. It was in 1969. I never forget. My late uncle Quincy took me to the ball game. My dad never took me to any sports games ever. Yep, we never actually went to one sporting event ever. Yeah, right to the time he passed, we never did anything like that. He didn't want it. I mean, he didn't mind watching on TV. We watched on TV, watch boxing events and stuff like that on TV all the time, all kinds of sporting events. But when it comes to actually going, it wasn't him. At least not with me anyway. That's another story. But anyway, so the thing that bothered me about the Indians was the mascot, and I think that was part of the reason why they eventually got rid of the name. They got rid of the mascot as well. It was offensive. Matter of fact, when I was a kid, it used to scare me. I used to have bad dreams about it. I really did. So, but otherwise, I liked the team. And down here, they had the Washington Redskins, and their people was telling me even back then, don't buy the jersey, which I didn't buy a jersey for a long time because it was offensive. You know, and I've been down here since '88, and I would never wear it. But I have since switched over because the Cowboys sucked ass over the years. I mean, they're horrible, man. They I don't know. Jerry Jones is running the way he want to run it, but I'm no longer feeling them. I'll be honest. You know, they come up short in a lot of big games. That's the reason I eventually stopped messing with them. And once the Skins changed their name to the Commanders and they got a better owner and coaching staff, of course I signed right up to the bandwagon. I had no problem with that. Besides, my son was already a fan for the last couple of years anyway on top of that, so it gives more of a bonding as a father and son, something my dad didn't really do with me that much anyway, you know. He never wore team t-shirts and stuff like that anyway, so me and my son, we got all kind of Commanders paraphernalia. And it's bonding, and that was the other reason why I did. You know, because we talk big about football all the time anyway. But nevertheless, Trump, who was supposed to be a commander-in-chief and the 47th president of the United States, supposed to be running this country as president. That's his prime directive. Yet, this dude is worried about they need to change the name back to the Redskins down here, and the Cleveland team need to change their name back from the Guardians to the Indians. Now, first of all, that's not his concern. He doesn't run the team. Okay. Both teams have, from my understanding from media sources, says they are not changing anything. And I don't blame them. It's their team. They run it the way they see fit, not you. You got bigger fish to well, you got other things you need to be doing besides worry about sports teams. Let's keep that a buck. Murray Bowser had acquired the rights to the state from former President Joe Biden last year. Okay, he signed over the lease. I think they got like a 99-year lease or something like that. So she can, you know, eventually, if they could come up with the funds, they could do it. You know, they could go ahead and get the stadium deal done and bring the team back to DC. The Commanders owner, I forgot his name. The name escapes me. The Commanders owner said he was all in on it. He was all in for it. He's ready to do it. You know, it's just a matter of them securing the funds and bringing it back. Of course, Trump throwing his weight around saying, yeah, I can make that happen, but you got to change the name back to the old name. And I'm like, why? And he claimed that, overwhelming majority of Native American Indians support that. what Native American Indians do you actually know that support that bullshit that you saying? Because I don't know if any, I haven't heard no reports of that at all. They were the ones that actually supported to get rid of the name that had the name changed years ago, along with getting rid of the logo. So that's not true anyway. What Trump's saying is completely false. Same thing with the Indians. That logo was extremely well. That's why they changed it to Guardians a few years ago. Guardians is not a name I'm too crazy about, to be honest. I know why they named it. They named it after a statue that was a Cleveland landmark. That was part of one of the Carnegie Bridge in Cleveland. That was a statue of a guardian on the bridge. You know, let's start on the bridge itself. That's why they named it a Guardian. All right. So, not crazy about the name per se, but the fact that I will say that they, as long as they're winning games and doing what they're supposed to be doing in the field, that's all that matters. Same thing with the Commanders down here. You know, I've been down here for almost 4 decades, and I'm proud to say I'm fully behind. I fully support this team, man. You know, the Commanders. Nationals, I support them. I've been to a number of Nationals games too over the years. I haven't actually been to any Commanders games, but I watch a lot of it on TV though. But I do fully support them. You know, I support the current name. There's nothing wrong with Commanders. The name has actually grown on me. I personally don't think you should go back to the Redskins. And I think, well, there's a couple of reasons why Trump actually did what he did. He think he's slick. He did it to support his base. He'll do anything to say anything to get his base to stay with him. You know, but he flip flops so much. Why would anybody in his base trust him like that? If Obama would, what he kind of did though, but Obama was flipping like he flipped. If Obama flipped as much as Trump did, believe me, I wouldn't have never voted for him for a second term at all. I wouldn't have. Period. People need to think the same thing about Trump, but they don't. That's another whole story. But yeah, he basically came out and said what he said to try, you know, get his base to because he know a lot of people in his base, predominantly the unmelanated folks, want to rename the team back to the Redskins. That's a known fact, because I've heard people say it in comments and videos and news reports and stuff like that. I've heard them say it. That's one. Number two, he's trying to throw diversion on people off of what really is going on with him in the situation about the Epstein files. He don't want people to talk about that no more, because there's been growing concerns among his own constituents about that. Not only his own supporters, but his own people who work around his administration have actually supported to get the Epstein files open. Yeah. Many Republicans have. So now he's trying to quiet down. Now, open up the Epstein files. You know, don't worry about the NFL teams. The NFL teams are going to be fine. The NFL and the Major League Baseball team in my hometown, Cleveland, will be fine. And my NFL team down here in the DMV that I support, where I reside, is going to be fine too. Don't worry about it. Matter of fact, they're going to have another banner year. Oh, I truly predict that. No question about that. And he all up everybody's business about, hey, Haley. Sawyer, good morning. How y'all doing? Can't really stop to talk to you guys right now. I mean, I'm currently doing the podcast, but if you hear me, I'm talking to you. So anyway, but I'm glad you guys came on board, though. I mean, I personally, what do you guys think about it? You know, what do you think? Are you with Trump on what he's saying, or are you against it? Personally, I'm against it anyway. I'm against any stupid content he talks about anyway, because he's really talking out of the side of his freaking neck anyway, number one. Number two, he got all this agenda stuff that he need to fix and get fixed. and revert back and not worry about the teams. He worry about businesses. Why are you concerned about business like the NFL? The NFL, as far as what they do with their policies and their personalities and their teams and uh, everything else and salaries and all that, is none of your business, Trump. You need to worry about the agenda of this country, the agenda that you have as a responsible person that you're supposed to be as the president, and not worry about this other stuff. This stuff is none of your business. It's really not. You know, not your business at all. It's too much stuff going on in the world for you to sit there and worry about. Well, I think the NFL teams that they should rename the teams back to where it was before. People want to hear the team name again. Nobody cares. They got the colors back. All right. They just recently announced that they're gonna be playing in the original colors in 3 games in the latter part of this year. Now, when they're gonna bring those colors back on new uniforms for the public to purchase, I have no idea. But I actually will get another one. I'm not gonna get one with Jason Daniels name on. Probably get because I have two jerseys with Jason Daniels' name on it already. I want one with either McLaurin or somebody else on it. So I haven't figured that out yet. But we'll see. We'll see how the season goes. Maybe the guy Debo from coming from San Francisco. Let's see what he do this year. I hope we do better than that guy they got from New Orleans last year. Marshawn, whatever his name was. That dude was terrible, man. He got ate up on that front line against Tampa Bay last year. That was a joke. We almost lost that game because of him. But anyway, because he was supposed to be such a big deal. But anyway, though, what was I going to say? Let's keep driving all this stuff right here. I personally think they should leave the names alone. Let these teams cook, especially the Commanders, who I'm really big on. I'm not really that big on the Guardians because I don't watch the Guardians baseball. They don't show it down here. I don't really watch the Commanders team. Not the Commanders. I'm sorry, I watch the Commanders all the time. I don't really watch the Nationals. I haven't been to a Nationals game since 2011. It's a very long time to not be at a Nationals game. And like I said, me and my son sat in the bleachers, man, for 9 innings, and it was so hot, my son had to go back to the regular stands and go on up there, man. And we were literally getting cooked out there. You know, I got the worst seats. I don't know how to be the bleachers that day. I think they were cheaper or something like that. And man, it was so hot out there, it wasn't funny. But anyway, it's all good. But I've been out there a long time. And but Nationals ain't been playing that good this year either, so that's the other reason I ain't going. But like I said, Trump has the agenda to have you always thinking about the good things I do. He hasn't done any good things. There's not one good thing he's done in the 6 months he's been in office. Not one. Not one. You know? He really hasn't. You know? So I'm not going to sit there and co-sign any of his BS. I'm not going to do it. Don't care what these maggots say. Not going to do it. They want to co-sign stuff because it benefits them. And for him to sit there and worry about businesses instead of worry about people, for lack of a better word, excuse my French, folks, is bullshit. You want to take away from the poor, some of those folks who weren't poor when they were working their tails off, okay, before many of them retired, to put into programs via taxes and stuff like that, and then you're going to take their benefits away. That's BS. And you worry about 2 teams from 2 different leagues or 2 different sports who are very well in control of what they're doing. Unfortunately, you're not. and you worry about what they do. Worry about what you're supposed to be doing. Stay out of the business and handle yours. That's all I got, folks. This is DJ Wolf Live. I also want to talk about Obama right quick. I think Obama, for the most part, and maybe I just do another podcast. I don't know. I kind of do want to talk about it. But I'll talk about it right quick because I think he was wrong for telling people, yeah, your son should have a gay friend. Let your son and or daughter determine who their friends are. Number one. You shouldn't be suggesting that to parents that the kids should have a gay friend. That's not up to you. That's not even at your discretion at all. You shouldn't even be bringing it up. Everybody knows that you were labeled as the gay president because of things that you did for gay people. The rights that you would have been able to write up for African Americans is the ones that you gave for gay people, and that gave them the rights of the things that they want to be able to do. Now, don't get me wrong. I personally have no agenda against gay people. I really don't. That's the honest truth. That's from the bottom of my heart. I don't. I live in the neighborhood where we actually have a few gay people who lived in our neighborhood. Very nice folks. I had one gay neighbor who lived 2 doors down from me. I had another gay neighbor who lived right across the street from me. I had no problems with them. Never had no beefs. Never had no issues. Nothing. They were just very nice people. Did the thing, mind the business, just like anybody else. You know, that was pretty much just that with them. I had no problems with them. Never did. Now, what I do have is people pushing an agenda about something. Now, this is the other story that I had to talk about right quick. And there was a video, and my wife actually confirmed it. There's a book out called The Gay BCs. I shit you not. Yeah. The Gay BCs. In other words, it's ABCs of learning about gays. And I'm like, this is a kid's book, a children's book. And I'm like, I'm hoping that no one ever attempts to buy a book like that for my granddaughter. Not because I think it's offensive, which I don't, but I don't think it's appropriate for young kids. Let kids be kids. Okay? This ain't the time to be trying to teach kids about, a sexual preference. They don't even know about that right now. They don't. They're too young. They're way too young and way too impressionable to try to force something on them that they don't even need to know about right now anyway. At all. I have a problem with that. I have a huge problem with that. And when I saw that, I said, no, this book shouldn't even be allowed right now. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't say a lot of stuff, but I do think that a book that's trying to promote homosexuality to kids that young is wrong. Okay? Now, if you're a teenager, it's a different story, but if you're a kid, we're talking about kids now. We're talking about young kids. Okay? That's all kind of wrong. Why doesn't these people like to ride your bumper out here every freaking damn day? I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get to where I need to go, but dude, y'all people out here, they do way too much. And he ride up on my ass. I'm moving up to 65, 66, and he doing the same thing. And you don't like that, that's too damn tough, man. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody doing all that mess. Stupid ass people on these roads. I swear. I'm gonna do a whole podcast on that one. These people are ridiculous, man. I was doing from 60, he ride my bumper. I'm doing 66, he's still doing it. He ain't never slowed at nothing. I was like, okay, so we doing that? Guess what I ain't doing? I ain't going past that. Stupid ass show, man. These people, I swear. But it's just wrong. Kids that young have no business being impressed, being taught that at all. They should not. They should not. Now, I'm going to tell you a little side story. I remember Little Richard, right? Now, everybody knows Little Richard was gay. Was gay, right? Little Richard, when I used to see him on TV in the late 60s, early 70s, did throw me for a loop because he was dressing women's clothes and had all lipstick and stuff, and he still had his mustache. That threw me off. And I was like, is this a woman or a guy? And my dad said, no, that's a guy. I said, so why he dressed like that? I thought it was a woman. You know. That in itself was confusing. So why would you get a book out talking about that? You know, that's all I'm saying. It just, I don't know. I was just odd to me. It was just odd to be teaching kids that stuff that young. You know, and I think that's where that in itself lies a bigger issue. Well, I want to thank you guys and gals for following my program. I do my podcast like this because I want to tell my side of the story. I just want to express how I feel about certain things. No malice or anything like that. Just out of understanding and love. God bless. That's all I got. Y'all guys have a great morning. I'll talk to you later. I'm out.